Hello, hello. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Here we go. So it's been a little over a week since I've been here, and I apologize. I've been very busy with the other show, the LSG Media proper, not the gaming wing, and trying to get all that YouTube stuff straightened out. So thank you for sticking around, hanging out. I know most of you probably won't catch this live. That's okay. You'll probably watch it after the fact. That's also okay. And yeah, so trying something a little bit different today. Playing this game here, Marvel Champions, the card game. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm playing it on Dragon Cards, though. I'm not playing the physical cards. Truth be told, I have this, and I have designs on getting some more of this, but I don't have all the cards I'm going to be playing today. But as with most of these things I do between tabletop sim or Dragon Cards, I recommend people, if you're going to play it, support it, buy it, whatever. I know corporations are evil and all that shit, but they do give us these pretty cool games sometimes. So do what you want. I just feel pretty good about myself when I actually buy the thing I'm going to be playing, especially when I'm going to be making content off it with the potential to make money on said content. It seems like the right thing to do. Now, I don't have all the cards, obviously. I don't, these games get pretty expensive. They call them, I think the term used is lifestyle game, because you could pick one of them and probably tie up your time and funds with just the one. But my ADHD prevents me from playing just the one. I like to play all of them and get into them pretty deeply, but this one really captures the inner 12-year-old, and that is no joke. It's really cool to be able to sit down and go, all right, if this hero and this hero fought against this villain and this villain, who would win? It's a little deeper than that. It's not just a brawl. There's some other stuff going on in this game. So if you've been to this channel before, then you know I've played Lord of the Rings. I played Arkham. I've yet to play Arkham solo. I usually play that with Brian or Mojo when she's available. And but I've played Lord of the Rings and Marvel pretty exclusively by myself. Just me by myself, a lonely little boy. But no, it's cool because you can play these games two-handed. So if you want to try like two different decks, it's a little more complicated when you're learning, but it feels like these games are really balanced at like 2 and maybe 3 decks at the most. But I don't really know Marvel that well. So disclaimer, I'm going to not play a clean game. I'm going to mess up the rules. And as I am oft to do when I start streams like this, I do want to shout out C-Stan, who created Dragon Cards. He did not author the Marvel Champions card game plugin, but the fact that he made plugins available for this web-based thing that he has here, that's really cool. So somebody named Hone, Hone, sorry, that don't know their real name. They're on the, I see them on the Discord, so shout out to Hone for making the Marvel Champions plugin. They're also making an Arkham plugin. They have one for the game Earthborn Rangers, which I hear great things about. Lord of the Rings, of course. That's really how it started, I believe. And then finally, we have, there's a War of the Ring card game. In fact, hey, what's up, Chris? Cyberpunk, after you started, went back and can't put that down. I 100% plan to play some more Cyberpunk. I almost played today. It was kind of a coin flip today. I was like, what do I want to do? Cyberpunk's the easier thing to do. I could just throw it on and play and just run around and shoot stuff. I actually did consider that, but 100%, I plan to play more Cyberpunk. I've actually, it's funny. I'll tell you, I'm learning a lot about ADHD because one of the things that happens is when things leave your headspace, that's when it's concerning, because then the idea of playing them is actually almost revolting. So that's not the case for me with Cyberpunk. I'm actually, I've been delving back into the Snow Crash novel. I've been poking around at other Neil Stephenson Cyberpunk books. And so it's still in my headspace, which is a good thing. And I have been thinking about Cyberpunk a lot. So yeah, I do plan to go back and play some Cyberpunk. And that's the thing with me. I can hold a couple of things in attention pretty well. Like I can play some Marvel, I can play some Lord of the Rings, I can play some Cyberpunk and kind of stay there. I'm not like my dear friend Scott. Every time I look at Scott's Discord, he's playing a different game. And I'm like, bro, I can't keep up. Shout out to Scott. Much love. Even he was saying the other day, I'm like, damn, I saw you play that game for a while, like 4 hours. He goes, well, yeah, I kind of walked away from it. And he goes, and who knows what we'll be playing next week, you know? I do have a tendency to want to hyper focus because I do have a tendency to want to get into something hard and like learn it and be competent at it. And then sometimes boredom starts to set in, or I see another shiny thing, and it's tough to manage. I'll be honest with you, but I'm trying. You've been falling asleep with Cyberpunk lore vids? That's pretty cool. I actually went to sleep listening to somebody play Cyberpunk once because it was like a quiet part of the game. That's weird, but I've done the same thing. So I hear you, Chris. But anyway, we're going to be tapping into the inner 12-year-old, so I don't want to waste too much time here. So let's see if I set this up right. There we go. I think I prefer full screening this, so it looks better. But this is the interface that I use to play these games. Again, shout out to C-Stan and Dragon Cards, DRAGN cards. If you Google it, you'll find it. Now, this isn't the Dragon Cards website proper. This is the beta. So there are potential problems here. I don't know enough. I haven't read enough about what they're doing or what C-Stan's up to with the whole beta thing, but I know that he's making more plugins available because the regular Dragon Cards is just for Lord of the Rings, and I think he wanted to expand it a little to give all their authors and creators chances to make things like the Marvel Champions card game, which we're going to be looking at right now. So I'm going to create a room, and it looks just like Dragon Cards. So just like when I play Lord of the Rings, it's the same looking interface, different hotkeys, and the game is a bit different. It's weird because I find it both easy and complicated, and I find myself saying that a lot with these games. It's both easy and complicated, depending on how you're looking at it. But before we even get too deep into this, I want to pull up this thing, Marvel Champions DB. I'll blow it up a little so you can see. So essentially, just like, there's my man. So just like Lord of the Rings, which has a Rings DB, Arkham, which has an Arkham DB, there is a Marvel DB. Where all the cards go, you can make cards to your heart's content, then you can export those and play them virtually, which is really cool. And that's how you do it. You copy your deck ID, you paste it over there, and you're ready to go, pretty much. And then it's really learning the interface of Dragon Cards. So as far as I can tell with this game, you have heroes, you build decks around heroes. So the three games are interesting. Arkham, you make an investigator. That investigator is usually tied to a couple of different aspects or colors or what have you. The easiest way to think of it is like colors or roles. If you want to apply a blanket term to all these games, it's almost like a role. So in Arkham, you have a seeker, and the seeker is good at getting clues. And then, same shit in Lord of the Rings. So in Arkham, each deck is one investigator. In Lord of the Rings, each deck is three of the heroes from Lord of the Rings lore, which is really cool. And in Marvel, each deck is one of the iconic characters from the Marvel universe. What makes Marvel unique compared to the other two games, which you can go back and listen to hear me talk about a lot, is that each of these decks comes pre-packaged with about, I think it's 15 cards that only that hero can take. And they have to take. And I think they have to take. What's cool about that is that it gives them a certain flavor. So every hero having unique cards gives every hero a little bit of a unique flavor. Now, like the other games, there are different roles. So there's different aspects. Essentially, the aspects are just like Lord of the Rings, kind of. So you have aggression. You can take Wolverine and make an aggression deck Wolverine or a red deck, and that means he's going to be killing shit. He's always going to be killing shit because he's Wolverine, but you can do a justice deck, and that's how you mitigate something called threat. You can have a leadership deck, which is really ally heavy. Leadership decks are kind of, they can do everything decks. And then the other deck I'll talk about is protection, which I know the least about for sure, and it's mitigating damage to you, which seems like a hard way to win because you have to defeat the villain actively and you have to thwart the scheme actively, which I'll talk about in just a second here. But just to give, because I know a lot of viewers here are first-time viewers to this game, so just to give a quick rundown as to essentially how this game works, is we're going to be playing against Mojo Mania here, so I'm going to load that up. Mojo's a cool bad guy. He's just fun. Oh, I gotta load my. I see. I'm already fucking up. So I'm gonna play two-handed. I'm playing with two. I'm gonna play with two bad guys. Two heroes, and I'm gonna pick Jean Grey and Wolverine. Once this game started to introduce the X-Men, it became much more interesting to me because as a kid, the X-Men were always my favorite. They still are, like more than the Avengers, more than any of those guys. I like Spider-Man and some of those guys, but I've always been an X-Men person. They've been my favorite. So as you can see, I've loaded a couple of decks here, and it's pretty cool. This game has a cool element where you actually you can switch between your alter ego, and on the other side of the card is your hero form. So it's kind of neat, and that'll depend on your strategy. But the most in these here are weaknesses specific to us. That's another thing this game does is every hero comes with a weakness. So Wolverine's is past demons. Phoenix's is burning hunger, and those get shuffled in the encounter deck. So if you draw it, it's bad for Wolverine. Just like Arkham, there's an encounter deck, same thing with Lord of the Rings. Same thing in Marvel. They all essentially, if you pull the camera way back on all three of these games, it's you have decks of cool characters and you're playing against the game, and the game's trying to kill you with its encounter cards and with its bad guys' powers. It's very, very similar. Some of the names and things have changed, but generally that's the gist. Now, we're going to load up here Mojo Mania, because Mojo's a really cool bad guy. He basically runs... The reason I'm doing Mojo is because he runs just a cool arena where he's like, you have to fight in this crazy coliseum. It's really neat. And I just think that's a cool idea. You have to go in this coliseum and fight. And so essentially what you have is you have your play area, your hero. So this is one hero, a second hero. And over here we have the villain. We're fighting Magog. The first villain, the first villain we have to be fighting in the arena is Magog. And setup is pretty simple. Essentially, it tells you you wanted to take Magog and a standard encounter set, one modular encounter set, and one random modular set from this scenario pack. So this game, this program, it loads everything for you. So if you can see here, kind of like the other games, there are, treachery cards, there are minion cards, and then there are other kinds of cards introduced in Marvel. They have like attachments, which you can stick on the villain so he can get like a weapon or a cool upgrade. They have side schemes, which we'll talk about. So I'm going to shuffle that. And then I am going to add a random it won't be random because I don't know how to do that using this, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to go to Mojo Mania and pick one. What do you guys think? Crime? This is funny. Should it have a crime theme, fantasy theme, horror theme, sci-fi theme, sitcom theme, or Western theme? That's why Mojo's cool. He's just interesting. Voss says, Dean doing something on Marvel? I know, crazy, right? What about Existential Dread and Tragic Inui? Nope, none of that. He was obsessed with Earth's television shows. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's cool, yeah. Magog, that's funny. In DC graphic novel Kingdom Come, one of the central characters was called a Magog as well. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that DC and Marvel rip each other off. Is Kingdom Come the one done by, is it Ross? Who's that artist? He's so good. I actually have it on the shelf over here. The artwork is fucking crazy good. It's like every frame is a painting to me. Alex Ross. I was going to say Art Ross, but I'm thinking Ross is art. So, yes, Alex Ross. Very, very good artist. Very good comic artist. I bought it just because of Alex Ross. I don't care a ton about DC, and I bought it just because Alex Ross did it. It's like so good. Anyway, what do you guys want to do? Crime, fantasy, horror, sci-fi? I'm going to do sitcom because that's hilarious to me. I kind of want to do Western. I think I want to do sitcom because I have no idea what that means. So that just put those cards in this deck. I'm going to shuffle it up again. Yeah, and basically what you have is you have the main scheme. So in Arkham, you have something called the agenda. And the agenda starts to build things on it called doom. When it hits a certain threshold, you lose. Same thing in this. There's a scheme, and it starts to accumulate threat. And then in this game, it's kind of cool, though, because what happens is when the villain has a turn, they attack you if you're in hero form. And if you're in alter ego form, they scheme. Because they're like, well, I don't know who Logan is, so I'm going to scheme my plans. So while you can get respite from the bad guy while in alter ego form, you are speeding up your demise if the threat gets too high on some schemes. They're all very different, but it's kind of neat. So once per term, you can change form if you want to. So I'm going to put my weaknesses in here. So we're going to put this and this in here. We're going to shuffle it up. Now, again, I don't know this game as well, but here's what I do like about this game compared to every other game that's come before it. Lord of the Rings has like 7 phases and then sub-phases within the phases, and you're like, holy shit, there's a lot of things to remember. Although I find there's less permutations. Arkham has a ton of permutations. And only a few phases. This has hero phase, villain phase, rinse, repeat. And I like that simplicity. It's definitely a faster game. So you sit down, you go, cool, it's the hero's turn, great. Now it's the villain's turn, great. Back to the villain's turn, great. Back and forth, which is kind of cool. Now, here's a cool piece of trivia. One of the first role-playing games I ever played was Marvel, the role-playing game. And I still remember I played that in D&D. I still remember the Marvel role-playing game because it had face rip. Let me actually pull it up. Marvel RPG face rip. Yeah, here we go. Marvel Superheroes RPG. Yeah, here it is. This cheesy thing. I played the shit out of this when I was a kid. And the one thing I did is I always wanted to, like, you pit villains against. When I first played it, I treated it like a video game, and then I started to learn how to like be a game master, and I was like, oh, what if we tell a story here instead of just have heroes fighting and shit. But yeah, this was a fun game. Face rip, that's what it was. Yep, face rip. I keep saying it, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Essentially, it was what your stats were, and that's how you remembered it was face rip. F was fighting, and in the C is actually an S, but F is fighting, A was agility, S was strength, right? E was endurance, then RIP would be reasoning, intuition, and psyche. And those are your 7 stats. And I always was like, oh, cool. Who's the strongest? Who's like the strongest character like on the earth, right? Who's like could lift the most weight? And it was the Hulk. He had like 100 or something crazy compared to Wolverine's like 20. So you could see how strong people were. And that's the first time it came to my attention, because I would argue that almost got me into the comics, because I was like, I didn't realize Spider-Man was so fucking strong. Like, that dude can throw cars and shit. Like, Spider-Man is fucking, you think he's just some nerd, but you're like, no, dude, he could throw Cyclops like 100 yards, no problem. You just grab him by the ankles and whip his ass into the woods. Poor Cyclops would just go flying into the woods. So, anyway, back to the point at hand. Sitcom would be totally fit in with Mojo's vibe. Yeah, that's cool. So, the setup tells me what to do. It says, put the champion environment card and the challenger's environment card into play with the booing crowd side face up. See, that's cool. So we're going to look up champions and challengers. So challenger's card and the champion's card goes into play. Close and shuffle. It says, what else do I have to do? All right, this is actually really neat. So the champion card shows Magog, like, gloating. And it says, if there are at least 5 times players, so if there are 10 ratings counters on here, flip this. So currently, the crowd is booing. So Wolverine and Phoenix get tossed into this arena, and standing at the other end of it is Magog, and everyone in the arena is booing because they want bloodshed. So the champion's being booed, and I guess this would be us. That's a cool shot of Wolverine. The challengers are being booed, and I think that's actually kind of adorable. Let me blow this back up again. So, and then if we get ratings counters here, so it's all about the ratings. God, even in my playtime, I have to worry about how many people are viewing. So, I guess we got to put ratings counters here. The players wow the crowd by placing ratings counters here. Right. So we got to beat this guy up to get the crowd on our side. All right. That seems not nice. Now, Magog has something called forced response. After he attacks and damages somebody, he puts a rating counter on the champion card. So every time he hurts one of us, the crowd gets closer to going from booing to, I'm guessing, cheering is the other side of this card. I'm not sure. And then we have Magog, which is forced interrupt. When Magog would be defeated, reset his hit points back to 20, 10 times players, and place 3 times players on the challengers and deal 1 face down encounter card. Okay. So essentially, we beat the brakes off this guy until we flip this card over or something happens. I'm not really sure how this ends, to be honest with you. So now that we have the main scheme, contents, and setup done, we flip it. Oh, that card's awesome. That looks cool. Mojo is so cool. It states, teleported into a bizarre arena. You must fight for the audience's entertainment. Are you not entertained? And your lives. The players cannot win the game unless they wow the crowd as the challengers. Now, some of this language states, when this scheme would be completed. See, if you play Arkham or Lord of the Rings, you go, okay, I know what this means. That's the cool thing about these games is the language is very transferable with very minor tweaks. You know what I mean? It's kind of like people who can speak one particular language in a region. They can kind of start picking up on the language of the other places in the region. It's really cool. Unless it's Finnish. Nobody can speak that. That was from my wife. When the scheme would be completed, place 4 counters on the champion and remove all threat from here instead. So these numbers here tell me this starts with 2 on it because it starts with 1 times players, and then every at the start of every turn, it's going to get +2 per player, which is a lot. And then the top left corner where it says 6 player, that means it has a threshold of 12, kind of like a Doom threshold, right? So here we go. Let's see what happens. I wish I could play music. I really wish I could play music without getting in trouble on YouTube underneath all this, but alas, I'll have to find some royalty-free shit. Give me some good leads, Voss. All right. So yeah. If you see in the left-hand corner here, we have a player phase and a villain phase. That's all. It's pretty simple stuff. Now, that said, I will fuck up the rules. I'm actually shuffling my decks here. Shuffle my decks. All right. I have a rule book to my left here. Let me see. Can you guys see this? This is 60 pages. It's one of the reference rule things to where, you know, if you're like, what does this mean again? Because I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget what everything does. Like I said, I'm going to make mistakes. Go easy on me. But anyway. So here we go. So players get to go first in this game, which is cool. And we are going to draw our hands. Now, we start in alter ego form. So Jean Grey states, put your Phoenix Force upgrade into play, restrained side face up. So currently she is restrained. That's pretty hot. And then it states, after the last power counter is removed here, flip this card. So I guess this eventually goes to unleashed. Then she goes Phoenix mode. Got it. Okay. So Jean Grey, or Dark Phoenix mode, whatever the hell. All right. So Jean Grey is the first player. That's kind of determined randomly, I think. And setup is all set. Now, if you look on the bottom of this, it tells you she's got 9 hit points. It's right above me, behind the chat, if you can see that. Okay, I can find some YouTube not very good royalty free. Yeah, probably. And then my hand size is 6. It's cool. Your hand size is different in alter ego form than it is in hero form, I think. So I think I hit Shift D and draw a hand. Hey, there we go. I've drawn a hand. Now, you can do mulligans in this game, but I think in Marvel, when you mulligan in Marvel, you lose that card for the game. So for each card you discard, I think it's discard for the game. And I think that's rough. I might be wrong about that, but I feel like I heard that recently and how people have been playing that maybe wrong. I don't know. I wish Mulligan was under M in this rule book. Sadly, it is not. So I'm going to go under the assumption that that is how it works. I don't even know, to be honest with you. There actually is a setup portion of the rule book. I'm looking to my left here, if you're wondering what I'm doing, and it says something along the lines of like, when the first turn starts, card anatomy and all that stuff. So I'll show you. It'll start. It's not super complex. It can be a little. Yeah, here we go. I'll show you this real quick. Left. So it says select your identities, select your hit points, select or set hit points. Don't select them. Set first players, set side obligations. That's another really cool thing. If you get hit with something called, I believe it's Shadows of the Past, you end up having to face your own nemesis deck. So you know how every hero has a cool nemesis? Well, that's all part of this game too. Wolverine has a nemesis. Everybody has their own nemesis, which is neat. Shuffle decks, collect tokens and status cards, select scenario, set the villain's hit points, create the encounter deck by following the scheme, right? Put setup cards into play, draw cards. Each player draws cards from their deck until they have cards equal to the number of their hand size listed on the bottom of their identity card. Each player may discard any number of cards from hand and then draw up to their starting hand size. Do not shuffle these discarded cards back into their decks at this time. That's mean. That's not nice. That's kind of hardcore. Decks are 40. You have 40 cards in your deck at minimum. You can have as many cards as you want. Obviously, you want to keep it low so you can get the cards you want. So let's see. So the Jean Grey, I'm bad at making leadership decks, and I'm bad at making protection decks. And I'm playing a leadership deck and a protection deck that I made. So I don't know if they're any good. There's somebody on YouTube who I think is very good about talking about this game. Their name is Villain Theory. I highly recommend checking them out. I actually did... one thing that I did... Villain Theory, he actually, I'm going to go back to this real quick and show you my decks. He broke down all the aspects, and I actually wrote them all down in deck form. So every hero he went over, I put if you have a full card complement, I put what aspects are good with those. So Angel, all aspects, Psylocke, all aspects, Cable, Justice, Rogue, all aspects, Gambit, A is aggression, justice, and leadership. Storm is good with aggression and leadership. So I kind of did that, and mostly for everybody. Yeah, everybody he talked about, I went on and did that. So I thought that was super helpful because he's made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of decks. So he has a lot of experience at it, much more than I do. So I found that pretty helpful. He's a British chap. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know enough to know to toss stuff into my discard pile. You know what I mean? I've played with the Wolverine more than anybody because clearly he's my favorite. Wolverine's awesome. I've played with Jean Grey like once, so I really don't know how to play her. And like I said, everybody says leadership decks are the best decks in the game. And I've played them the least, and I struggle to kind of understand them. I like aggression and justice. Aggression and justice aspects they make sense to me. One guy kills the villain, one guy stops the schemes, right? Bash villain with aggression, stop scheming with justice at a base level. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense if you got two decks. That's what the game's trying to kill you by either killing you or running the scheme up. It's kind of like in Arkham, like one guy gets clues, one guy kills enemies. That makes sense to me. In Lord of the Rings, one guy kills minions, one guy quests. That seems to be kind of the basic tenet of these games. Although there are permutations beyond that. Anyway, okay, so that's Jean Grey's hand. I'm not going to mulligan because I don't know enough to know. Other than I probably have cards here. I know I have the ability to go into my disc. Okay, right here. So here's a good example. So Pixie And all of my allies are X-Men, by the way. I wanted to keep it in-house, you know? I didn't pick. There are better allies than the ones I took, but I wanted to take all X-Men. So I have Beast in my opening hand, but if you see what Pixie says, it says after you play Pixie, add an X-Men ally from your discard pile to your hand. So I could dump Beast because I can pick him up back. So I'll dump Beast and draw another card, I think. Do I want to dump one of the Psychic Kickers because I have 2 of them? Maybe. No, I'll just draw another card. Beep. Hey, call for backup. This is a side scheme, which is cool. This is something I hope they can work into Arkham, although I don't know how you would, because both Lord of the Rings and Marvel use them, and it's you can actually put an objective into your deck, and if you beat it, you get something cool from that objective. In this case, if I play this side scheme and I take all the threat off of it, I can just put an ally into play for free by searching my entire deck or discard pile. That's really awesome. And it's also well-timed since I just discarded Beast. Okay. In terms of paying for cards, this game is a lot different than the prior 2 games because you pay for cards with cards, which is really weird because it feels gross because you're discarding so many, you're getting rid of so many cards. You're like, but I like that card, but I like that card. And that's something I'm still kind of learning about this game. In Lord of the Rings, you buy cards with resources that your heroes generate every turn or more per turn if you do cool things like get Steward of Gondor. That makes sense to me. I got money on every character, spend character money, play cards. In this, there is nothing like that. It is literally you pay for cards with other cards. So the X-Jet says 3. That means I have to discard 3 resource icons to put this card into play. That's rough. The bottom of the X-Jet card, you'll see a resource icon. It has 1 icon. So to play the X-Jet, I would have to discard 3 resource icons, or in this case, in my current hand, 3 cards. So I got to say goodbye to 3 cards to play the X-Jet. It's like, shit. I'm still kind of learning the economy of this game. What is the most efficient way to spend your money is actually kind of a hard part of the game. But over to Voss says, I guess they wouldn't put it into Arkham because your characters are on their own, so having access to backup characters would kind of lessen the dread factor of the game. Yeah, for sure. They have allies in Arkham, though, but you can only have 1 ally in play in Arkham. In Lord of the Rings, you can have fucking 10 allies in play if you saw that Valia deck that I made with Elrond. In Marvel, I think you could only have 3 allies in play. But it's the side schemes that interest me. I think if you played side schemes, and Arkham is very delicately balanced around the idea of doom, and I think if you fuck with that, it might break the game. So maybe that's why they decided to not do side schemes in it. But anyway, so let's draw Wolverine's hand and see what he has. Shuffle. I know Wolverine's card's a little bit better. We got a bunch of actual... So these are identity cards. See how it's yellow? It's got Wolverine's face in the bottom right corner behind the chat window there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it on this side. That means that's a Wolverine-specific card, and it's only in his deck. Gray can be in any deck, and then this is a green deck that I've made, so protection. I don't know if this is a good hand. It seems okay, except it seems very event-heavy. In fact, this entire hand has no allies, all events. I think I'm going to mulligan some of this shit, actually. I think I'm going to mulligan... track by scent cost 2, regenerative healing cost. I'm gonna mulligan track by scent. I hate mulligan identity-specific cards. And maybe Berserker Barrage? Now, this feels bad to do this. I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to draw 2 new ones. 1, 2... Professor X and Cyclops. Well, hello. Rasputin. He costs 4. How am I going to afford his ass? So this is a perfect example of how would you spend your cards here. You're giving up a lot of good cards. All right, so player phase. Play cards until you can't, and then you're done. That's how simple it is. Right, so we'll start with Jean Grey since she's the first player. I have something called the Power of Leadership, which states double the resources on this card while playing for a leadership card. So I could play this, put Pixie into play, and then put Beast back in my hand. So I think I'll do that. So I'm going to play Power of Leadership to put Pixie into play because I get double my resources in the bottom left. After I play Pixie, I can take a card in my discard pile and put it in my hand. So I'll bring Beast back in. Yay, thanks, Pixie. And then this card is discarded. So now what am I going to do? I could attack Magog with Pixie. So there's something in this game called consequential damage, which represents the villain fighting back when an ally attacks the villain. And that's represented by this little stars under the attack value. So this tells you that if Pixie attacks, she does 2 damage to the villain, but then she takes 2 consequential damage, which means she then dies because she only has 2 health. So she gets to attack once, and then she dies. So, but she can thwart for 1 and take 1 damage and still have 1 health left. I could do some Psychic Kicker. Psychic Kicker action. I could probably do that. But I think I'm going to wait because I kind of want to put the X-Jet into play. I really want to put Call for Backup into play, so I'm going to. So I'm going to spend one of my Psychic Kickers and put Call. I'm going to play the side scheme. So it comes in with 6 threat on it. And if I get rid of the 6 threat, I can search my deck and discard pile. Both players can, and put that ally into play, which is really cool. We're probably going to Kamikaze Pixie for that, which feels bad, man. But I think I'm going to do it anyway. Also, I'm going to go into hero form. So Phoenix has a 3 thwart. Oh, this has to start with stuff on it, doesn't it? This states, yeah, this should have 4 counters on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, one of the things Phoenix can do is she can remove a power counter from Phoenix and generate a wild resource, which means it could be used to pay for anything. So I could discard Beast again, plus my other Psychic Kicker, and throw the X-Jet into play. The X-Jet is a good early investment because it generates resources for a player whose identity has the X-Men trait. So I think I'll do that. So Phoenix is going to use one of the things on here, so that drops to 1. Psychic Kicker's 2, and I'm going to toss Beast again for 3. See what I mean? I'm wasting all my cards, and I'm going to put the X-Jet into play. And the X-Jet states that I can generate a wild resource for a player whose identity has an X-Men trait, which means even Wolverine could use the X-Jet to get resources. And now what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to thwart. So to thwart, I look at her thwart value, which is 3. I exhaust her, and I take 3 off of this. I'm going to take 3 off of Call for Backup to get it closer to being done. I'll have Pixie do the same. Pixie takes 1 thwart away, and it seems silly to thwart with her. She only does 1. See, this might be a bad strategy. I don't really know. And she takes a consequential damage as a result of that. And that's pretty much all Phoenix can do. So bouncing over to Wolvie, what can Wolverine do? He could take away Call for Backup right now by thwarting. I probably will do that. Endurance is good because I get extra hit points. And Wolverine, this deck is designed to take a lot of damage. Wolverine, as you know, can heal. He automatically heals 2 a turn, which is so good. Every turn he heals 2. That's so good. Professor X is kind of neat, but he's a one-use guy. And the way I look at it, I can probably discard Colossus because I can end up putting him into play anyway if I do Call for Backup successfully, right? Because I can search my deck and discard pile if I defeat the side scheme, which I'm 100% going to do right now. This might be starting slow. Side scheming in a Mojo ring might be a bad idea, to be honest with you. I really should be starting to smack him around, but I don't have a smack him around hand. So I'm going to probably do something crazy here. So 1, and then I could discard 1, 2, not enough. 1, 2, 3. I could use the X-Jet for myself. Okay, Wolverine is going to use the X-Jet, and I'm almost certain you can do that. I'm going to put Endurance into play. So Wolverine just got +3 hit points. So now he has 13, which is a lot. when you can heal. So he probably won't die. Doesn't mean we're going to win. So that's done. And now I'm going to... I guess I'm going to use Regenerative, Colossus, and Professor X, which seems insane, to play Hard Knocks. Again, probably a terrible strat. This states deal 4 damage to an enemy. So he takes 1, 2, 3, 4. We put that right on Magog, who now is down to 14 because he starts with 20. Maybe I should count down backwards. Would that be cooler for you guys? What if I did it like this? Like he's got 16 left now because I did 4. I don't defeat him, so I don't get a tough card. And then I'm out of cards, but I can thwart. So Wolverine's going to thwart, believe it or not. And he's going to call for backup. This gets discarded, and we both get to search our decks and discard piles for an ally and put it into play. Wolverine's going to go right over here and put Colossus into play because he costs 4. So he's expensive. He comes in for free, which is amazing. He has a tough status card, which means that he takes 0 damage from the next attack. So Colossus is here. Colossus and Wolverine are hanging out, which is bad for the bad guys. And over here, do I want to put Beast into play? He's in my discard pile. If I do that, I could put Power of Leadership back in my hand because it states put a resource card back into your hand. That's really cool. I could do that. You know what? Let me actually look at all my allies in this deck. Let me see if I got something. I know I have better allies than Beast. All right, I have Kid Omega. I have Legion. I have Forge, who's always good. Cyclops is my identity specific. He's got 3 health and he thwarts and schemes at 2/2, which is pretty good. I have Shadowcat. After you play Shadowcat, choose a side scheme and it loses. So she's good at hurting side schemes. Havoc, I believe, is my brother, Alex Summers. When Havoc attacks, discard the top of the encounter deck for each boost card. Discarded this way, Havoc gets +1 attack for this attack. Yeah, that's pretty good. Except he takes +1 consequential damage. I could throw Professor X in. Confuse the villain, stun the villain, or ready an X-Man character. X-Man. You know, because those are in my deck and I can still get them, I'm going to take the one that I can't get because he's discarded, and that's Beast. So Beast is in the game. Beast lets me take a resource card, put it back in my hand, so I get Power of Leadership back. Now that's efficiency. All right. So that concludes the player phase. Now, at the end of the player phase, I ready up and I draw cards, and then the villain gets to go. So that's what's going to happen right now. Although I could have Beast do something. I probably should have Beast do something. Beast is actually going to scheme. So he's going to take 2 scheme off the main scheme, bringing it to 0. And now I'll end the player phase. Oh, wait, I can have Colossus attack. Right, because these guys are coming into play. I'm all over the place, and I apologize. I think I will. I think I'm going to punch Magog for 3 and take no consequential damage because I have a tough card, but my tough card goes away. So I'm going to punch Magog for 3, so he loses 3 more. All right. We did 7 to Magog. That's not bad. So now it's the end of the player phase, and I think I can just hit Shift-P here. I can. Beautiful. So we ready up. We draw back up, which is cool. Oh, I got Uncanny X-Men, which is a great card. This is not a great hand, but it's not terrible. Because I don't have any, I don't have any villains in there. All right, anyway. All right, what did Wolverine draw? Wolverine drew the Power of Protection. Hard Knocks again, and Energy Barrier, which is a great card for him. Logan's Cabin. Oh, doesn't that look cozy this time of year? And Stepford Cuckoos, that's a good one. I can ignore treachery stuff, which is awesome. Very much like ignoring treachery is great. In Arkham, it's great. In Lord of the Rings, it's great in this game too. All right, so the first thing that happened, if you look at this card, is it has 4 counters on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's because it gets 2 per player at the start of every villain phase, which is to place threat on the main scheme. The next thing that happens is the villain activates once per player along with any eligible minions. So what that means is that starting in player order, he activates. That means he's either attacking or scheming. If you're in hero form, he attacks you. If you're in scheming form, he schemes. So he's attacking Phoenix. Now, other people can defend. So I'll start by dealing something called a boost card face down. Now, when this card is revealed, it's going to tell you how much damage in addition to the 2 he already does on his card to her, but the card is ignored. The card doesn't matter. What matters is the boost icons on the bottom. You'll notice in these decks, and I'll just flip a card to show you. See that bottom right corner, those 2 little star icons or those boomerang looking things? Those are called boost icons. So if this was the card revealed for the attack, you would ignore the text and just go with the 2 boost icons. So he'd punch Phoenix for 4 in this example, which would be terrible because she only has 9 health. She get fucking walloped. So I'm going to put this back in, shuffle it up. So I'm deciding if I should block. I can jump block and just say, you know what? We're going to sacrifice Pixie for this. She's going to get whacked. I can look at Wolverine's hand and decide, ooh, what could Wolverine do to help this? Well, he is going to regenerate. He's got no damage on him, but he's also going to be attacked. I think we're going to have... I kind of want Pixie to go out on her shield by attacking, because Pixie could attack on Phoenix's turn and die, but at least she could do 2 damage to do it, versus just soaking damage and dying. I think... Let me look at my hand. Let me look at Phoenix's. Phoenix is not going to do anything that requires her to exhaust, so she's going to defend herself. So she'll exhaust, and she gets her defense value of 2. Magog does 2 damage. Very simple stuff here. And now we're going to see what the boost card says. Bing! 2 extra damage. Bottom right corner is all we're looking at in this case. So he does 2 according to his card, plus 2 more. So she's got 4 coming in. She defends for 2, so she takes 2. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that key. So she got 2 damage on her. Now, there's some other things here. Magog states, after he attacks and damages a character, place 1 rating on the champion. So the crowd is starting to go, ooh, nice. Love it when you kick that woman around the ring. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. It's making our event fun. It also states when Magog would be defeated, so we don't have to worry about that. So by whacking her, he gets a point on his little card, and they like that. Which means, if you noticed, I forgot to put stuff on this one. Oh, no, I don't put any here. Okay, good. I only put it here when he's defeated. Okay, just making sure I didn't miss that. Okay, that is the end of the villain activation phase. Now we go to the encounter phase, so it's not over yet. Each character is dealt an encounter card face down. Bing, and then you resolve them in player order. So let's see. Now, when you are dealt an encounter card, not a boost card, you resolve the card. So let's see what horrible shit awaits Jean Grey. Surprise contender. This guy's awful. He's so tough. So a minion has entered the ring. He looks like a knight. He's a clone, he's elite, and he is villainous. What villainous means is that he actually gets his own boost cards when he attacks, which is nasty. Forced response. After surprise contender attacks and damages, place a rating counter on champion. And then it says, when defeated, place ratings on the challengers. Okay, cool. So this guy has 14 health, according to his card, 7 times 2. So this is a huge distraction. Remember, all of these games want to distract you from what you're supposed to be doing by throwing shit in your way. So he shows up. He does not activate because we're past that part in the phase. He would normally activate in the activation start, but we're not there yet. We're in the resolution of the encounter cards. So we're down in this phase. So his turn has passed, but he shows up. Hey, I'm here. I'm here to ruin your day and your lives. All right. Over here, gang up. When revealed, if I'm in alter ego form, it says this card gains surge. Sadly, I'm not. And since I'm in hero form, it says the villain and each minion engaged with you, luckily nobody's engaged with Wolverine, attacks you. So this gets discarded. We deal a boost card to Wolverine from the encounter deck. And Wolverine has to decide if he wants to defend against this. He probably should. Or should I have Colossus step in the way? Colossus. Colossus only has 3 health, which is kind of silly. You'd think he'd have a little bit more. I don't want any more points to go onto the champion card. The only problem is if I exhaust Wolverine now, he will be exhausted on my turn. So that is a consideration. I'll defend. Wolverine will defend himself. Although I do have a lot of hit points. I don't know if there's a disadvantage. The disadvantage is the champion card gets more counters if I take damage, because people are like, yeah, cool, beat him up. So I will defend. So he's coming at me for 2 plus 2 for, oh, at least I lost, it's nice to see this card in play. Oh, this is a sit card comp. That's funny. So he does 1, 2, and according to this, 2 more. So I take 4 damage. Wolverine protects himself from 2, but he takes 2. And we get another card here. Ding. Magog. He's throwing punches. All right. That concludes the villain phase. We pass the first player token to Wolverine. Shift V. And now it's Wolverine's turn. And that's pretty much the game. You just go back and forth. It's simple. So Wolverine is exhausted. He automatically heals 2 at the start of the phase. Amazing. And what's he going to do? What's he gonna do? This guy is annoying. We got to get rid of this guy. This could be a real problem for us. I guess we're going to find out. Colossus can hit him for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, we got the damage to do him in, but it does suck to have to do it. All right, first things first, we are going to separate cuckoos, cancel the effects of that card and discard it. Oh, you do have to reveal another card. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't love this card then. I'm going to discard Stepford Cuckoos and Logan's Cabin. Wait a minute. Let me think about this. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to back that up. One of the things Wolverine can do, which is really cool with his claws, is it states, exhaust Wolverine's claws. Choose an attack event in your hand and take damage equal to its printed cost and play that event and ignore its costs, and the attack gains piercing, which goes through tough. That's really cool. So if I wanted Wolverine to take 3 damage, I could just play Hard Knocks. That's very efficient because Wolverine can heal and he's got extra hit points. I might do that. So, all right, I'm going to use Stepford Cuckoos to put Logan's Cabin into play. And if I want to use this with an alter ego action, I can by exhausting it. I have to be in alter ego form, though. That's what alter ego action means. I go up to my cabin in Canada somewhere and I just chill out. I'm going to play the Power of Protection, which states double the number of resources on this card when playing a protection card. So I can play just this card and cover the cost of this, which is Energy Barrier. Love this card. It gets 3 counters. And this states if I take a damage, I can take 1 less by taking 1 of the barrier numbers down and putting that damage back on Magog, which is cool. And lastly, I'm going to exhaust Wolverine's Claws. I'm going to choose an attack card. I'm going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to deal 4 damage to an enemy. I'm going to put it on this jerk. So he goes down to 10. Wolverine gives him a little bit of a beating. Chop, chop, chop. Schnickety schnick. Colossus is going to punch this guy. So I'm going to exhaust Colossus. He takes 2 consequential, though, which is rough. But he does 3. So this guy is down to 7. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And, you know, I might actually go alter ego, but if this hits 12, well, we're kind of screwed. It's going to go to 8, and then if he schemes twice... No, I'm not going to go to alter ego form yet. All right, passing over to her turn. Make the call. I have a plan. I have a plan, guys. Okay, plan number 1. We're going to use the power of leadership to pay for a blue card, and we're going to exhaust the X-Jet to get another resource. So 1, 2, 3, we're going to put Uncanny X-Men into play, which is a great card. Each of your X-Men allies gets +1 hit point. If each of your characters has the X-Men trait, each of your X-Men allies cost 1 fewer resource to play. This card is ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. Who's in my pile? I don't have any allies. All right, Make the Call is a cool card. It lets you play cards out of any player's discard pile. Let's see. Does Wolverine have any allies in his discard pile? Oh, he's got Professor X. All right, I have a plan. I could do Omega as well. Kid Omega. Enters play, choose, spend a resource, deal 1 damage to each enemy. That's kind of awesome. Or spend a mental resource and remove 1 threat from each scheme. Decisions. This Uncanny X-Men card is so good. I wonder if Make the Call lowers the price of Professor X. All right, here's what we're going to do. We want to get Professor X into play, even though he doesn't last long. He kind of comes and goes. He's like Gandalf. You play him, he does cool shit, and then he leaves. Nick Fury, actually, in this game is very much like that. So I'm going to play Make the Call. I'm going to go into Wolverine's discard pile, which is kind of awesome. I'm going to take Professor X out of it, and I'm going to... Can I pay for him? I'm going to pay for him by spending 1 Kid Omega and 2 more from the Genius card. The Genius card, if you look at it, has 2 resource icons. So X comes into play. What's up? My X-Men. This is how I talk. My X-Men. After he enters play, choose one of the following. Confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men character. Ooh. I'm going to ready, confuse the villain, stun a minion. So the minion won't be able to attack. He'll get stunned. Or I can confuse the villain and he won't scheme. He's not going to scheme anyway unless Jean Grey changes form at the end of this turn, which I think I'm going to do. Right. I have too many things I can do. Let me think. Because Professor X can scheme here before he disappears. Because he goes away at the end of the round. So let me think of how I want to do this. So he could remove 3 scheme from melee in the Mojo Seum, which would be good. Beast can attack. Pixie can attack. So that's 4 damage on Contender. And then I could bounce it back to Wolverine, who could attack. No, I don't know. I don't know if you can do that, go back and forth with your characters like you can in like Lord of the Rings and shit. I could ready Beast, and Beast could attack again. No, too late. All right, we're going to stun Contender. Because he's villainous, he gets a boost card, which is nasty. Most minions just do the 2 damage on their card. They don't get boost cards, but if they're villainous, they do. So I'm going to stun this jerk, which means 6. So he's stunned by Professor X's mind bullets. That means he cannot attack. Yeah, he's not going to be dead yet either. So this is the good move. This is a good move. So he stuns that guy with his mind bullets. And Contender's like, what the fuck? So Beast will then attack Contender for 2. So he's down to 5. Pixie's going out on her shield. She's attacking for 2. And then she's gone. Xavier's going to scheme for 3. Oh, wait. Pixie's not dead, guys. And I paid too much for Professor X. I don't know if he's technically my ally. She's not dead. She has 1 extra hit point on her because of Uncanny X-Men. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We love that. But she is exhausted. Okay. We mustn't forget. It's easy to forget. And I guess that's the end of my turn. I think Jean Grey is going to change forms, though, to prevent attacks on her from Magog. So Jean Grey is going to change to... Phoenix is going to revert to Jean Grey before the end of her turn. And that'll force Magog to scheme. Okay, cool. Shift P, player phase is over. Bzz. She also gets an extra card by being in Jean Grey form. Okay, villain turn. We've placed our threat. First player is Wolverine, and he's going to be attacked by Magog. So Magog attacks. Boost card. I'm trying to think of when do the minions activate. I never remember this part of the game. I think they activate right after. Let me consult the rules. Minions. Trying to remember when minions activate. If a minions engage with a player, third paragraph, third bullet, activate during the step 2 of the villain phase after the villain activates. Okay. Okay, cool. That's easy. All right, so he's not activating then until on this side. So he activates against me, and what is Wolvie going to do? Wolvie's going to take this punch. Track by scent. Oh, this is a great card. Wolvie's going to take this punch. Undefended. Because I'll put 1 back on him. Actually, no, I don't want champion to go up, do I? I think I will defend myself. Yeah, I'm going to defend myself. Hiya! So, he punches me for 2. He punches me for 3. So I have a 2 defense. 1 gets through, but energy barrier states when you take any amount of damage, 1, remove a reflection counter, prevent 1, and deal 1. So we lose 1. He takes 1. So nothing gets put on the champion card, which is awesome. And now on this side of the table, he schemes. So boost card to scheme. He schemes for 1 plus nothing. Not terrible. So only 1 threat goes here. And then, of course, the contender actually schemes. He's not... Stunned prevents him from attacking. So he gets a boost card. He schemes for 1. Oh, my God. He schemes for 4. Holy shit. And you can't block schemes. So the villains are scheming. So we're up to 10 here. That's not good since the threshold is 12. We're going to have to do some thwarting. And now both players give encounter cards, and we resolve Wolverine's first. And this says the villain schemes. Oh boy, we might be flipping this. So this goes away. He gets a boost card. He schemes for 1. Okay, now this is a different card. The star card is different. The star card states, boost, reveal this card. That means he schemes for 1, so let's do that. So it's up to 11. And then this states, attached to Magog, he now has Jolt of Adrenaline, just what he needs. A red guy with a beard. He gains Retaliate and Stalwart. That sucks. I believe that means he can't be stunned or confused, and every time you hit him, you take 1 damage. Damn, that's not good. All right, over here, advanced. This states the villain schemes again. Oh, boy. Well, that's not good. So this goes away, and he schemes again for 3, putting him over. All right. When this scheme would be completed, which is now, place 4 ratings counters on the champion. 1, 2, whoopsie. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not good. And remove all threat here. Okay, so this all goes away, but the crowd is starting to favor Magog, not us, as you can see. We're starting to lose. If there are 10 counters here, which there aren't yet, it's getting close. The crowd is getting whooped up into a frenzy. Mojo's laughing. All right. That's the end of the villain phase. So let's go ahead and move on. Back to Shift F, Shift V, is it? Yep. All right, back to the player phase. Well, we have some work to do. We really need to get rid of this 12 hit points, and we have the table. I think we have the table state to do it. I feel like we got enough shit on the table to hurt this guy. Oh, wait, he's gone, so X is gone. Okay. Oh, I think he would have schemed too. Oh, he did. He schemed high for 4. All right. What are we going to do? We got some cards. Telepathic Trickery, which is remove 4 threat from a scheme while there isn't any in play. We're a little late. Havoc is in my hand. We have Rise from the Ashes. When you would be defeated, remove this card from the game, ready your identity, and restore it to its printed hit point value instead. Remove each power counter from Phoenix Horse. That's really cool. Phoenix Suit, she gains Aerial. While you have Restrain trait, she also gains Steady. That's cool. Steady, I believe, is it takes 2. See if I remember Steady. I believe that means you need to be stunned or confused twice instead of just once before it actually affects you. Yeah, so Stalwart, if we look over here, which is what Magog has now. If a character gains a Stalwart keyword, while they have a stunned in or confused status card, each stunned in or confused status card is removed from that character. A character that has Stalwart cannot be stunned or confused. That's so good. Steady states a character with the Steady keyword can have 1 additional stun status card and 1 additional confused status card before those take effect. Yeah, that's awesome too. Telepathic Trickery. Danger Room Training attached to an X-Men ally. Max 1 training. They get +1 thwart and attack and +1 hit point. It's really good. That'd be pretty good on Colossus. He'd be punching for 4. I think we're going to be doing that. Yeah, that's pretty nasty on Colossus. Although he would have 5 hit points. It'd be pretty good on Beast too, man. I wish he was healed. I wish I could heal my X-Men. There's probably healing X-Men cards, healing minion cards that I just don't have in these decks. Phoenix gains Aerial and Steady. Psychic Blast does damage. Ooh, this is really good. All right, I kind of want to go Unleashed and start beating up Magog, you know? After the last power counter is flipped from this, remove the card. I'm currently restrained. So I can... After you make a basic recovery place... Okay, yep. But this states... All right, I got to get out of my alter ego form, that's for sure. So back to hero form. Let's start there. I can use a resource from here for 1. All right. We're going to go 1. What am I doing? 1, 2 from the X-Jet. 3, 4. Oh, wait, we don't need to do 4. We only need to pay 3 because of Uncanny X-Men. We're bringing Havoc into play. Boom. Havoc is here. Havoc is going to be given... He's going to do a lot of damage. We're going to give him Danger Room Training. So we're going to give Havoc Danger Room Training, which states, attached to an X-Men ally, he gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 hit point, which is fucking awesome. And, yeah, that's pretty good. I can't Psychic Blast yet, which is unfortunate. But I think we're going to attack Magog for a lot. So let's try this whole Havoc thing. And we have to remember we have this. All right. So Havoc states, when Havoc attacks, discard the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discarded this way, Havoc gets +1 attack. He currently has a 3 attack. And he takes +1 consequential damage. For each boost icon, Havoc gets +1 attack for this attack and takes +1 consequential. Okay. Yeah, so he hurts himself, basically, by being so goddamn nuclear. All right, let's discard this card. Bing! 2. Okay, so 2 boost icons, which means my attack goes from 2 to 4 to 5. Okay, I'm sorry. I was attacking Magog. So 5 damage on Magog, but I take 2 consequential damage. So I take 2 damage myself, but Magog takes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He blasts the shit out of him. That's kind of awesome. That's a lot. He's kind of a glass cannon, though, huh? So I got to exhaust him. Pixie has an extra hit point. I think Pixie should probably... Maybe we'll have Pixie blast Magog. We got to get rid of Contender. I might leave Contender to Wolverine. I'm not sure. Pixie will attack. She'll do 2 damage. She takes 1. She has 3 because of Uncanny. So she dies, but 2 more damage here. 1, 2. He's down to 5. Beast will have 3 damage on him, but he'll still be alive. He could do 2. No, I think we should wrap up this Contender guy. Yeah, let's get rid of Contender. It's a tough call. Havoc is really cool. He looks cool, too. Beast is going to attack Contender for 2. So that brings him to 1. And then lastly, Gene will finish off Contender for 1. So he's gone. Good fucking riddance. So he's dead. That's pretty much Gene's turn. So Havoc has 2 damage on him. He has 4 health. Beast has 3 damage on him. He has 4 health. All right. All right. All right. I'm starting to see the appeal of leadership. All right. Wolverine's turn. Hello. Hello. He heals too because he's awesome. This card is so good. Berserker Rage is so good, but I think we're going to do other stuff. Can Wolverine do 5 damage to this jerk? Let me think about this. I can do 3 with Colossus and only have to do 2. I can't stun him, but I can do 3 damage if I use a fist to pay for this. At least 1 fist. Damn. And this is a wild card, so that's my answer. Track by Scent, we're gonna pitch that. So we're gonna use Power of Protection and Track by Scent to pay for Tackle. It's kind of a waste of this card. So boom, boom. We're gonna play Tackle. God damn it. Tackle states that Stun an enemy. He can't be stunned because he's stalwart. And if you bait for this using a fist, which we did, deal 3. So he takes 3. 1, 2, 3. He's down to 2. Colossus, I think, is going to sock him in the face for 3. He'll take 2 consequential. That'll be the end of Colossus. Oh, wait. Colossus is going to die. Yeah. That's okay. Colossus is going to go down taking Magog with him, which is really cool. So he's gone. Magog is defeated. Now, this states when Magog would be defeated, reset his hit points to 10 times players. So he goes right back to 20. And place 6 ratings counters on the challengers. And deal each player an encounter card. Ooh, that sucks. So we're tied. We got 6 on here. However, we each get an encounter card, which sucks. Face down encounter cards don't resolve until the villain phase, which means we're going to have a lot of bad things happening to us as a result of what we just did. I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing here. I don't think so. Okay. All right. Wolverine's turn. Is it done? I could... Oh, wait. What happens here? After Magog's hit points are reset, place... Oh, cool. Place 1 times 2 ratings counters on the challengers and discard. Oh, that's so good. So we get 2 more. Whoopsie. God damn it. We get 2 more of these. This gets discarded, so he's no longer stalwart and he can be stunned. So Wolverine is going to exhaust his claws. He's going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And tackle this jerk again. Stun an enemy. Oh, wait a minute, though. Are Wolverines, are these considered to be play the event ignoring its resource cost? I bet that means here's a weird rules question. So because I'm not paying for this card, that means I don't actually get to do the damage. Yeah, I think that's probably true. But I do stun him. So he can be stunned, which is 6, which means the next time he would attack, he doesn't attack. So he kind of skips one of his activations, which is cool. Okay, I can deal with that. Do I want to go alter ego maybe and then get some identity cards back and have him scheme? I think so. I'm actually going to change to Logan. Schnicked. Yeah, I'm going to change to Logan for more efficiency out of the stun. Okay, end of the player phase. Bzz. And I get extra cards, which is cool. That card looks awesome. All right, so villain phase. So he activates. We already put the game automatically puts the threat on the scheme up here in the top corner. As you can see, the 4. All right. Well, pretty cool. So Magog is attacking Phoenix, which is bad. Because she's kind of soft. He don't need no stupid phone to change costumes. You got that right. He just takes off his costume and gets on a Harley. Or some kind of bike. I don't know. All right. What are we going to do here? So I can't defend her because Logan's in alter ego form. I didn't really think of that. Oh, wait. I'm stupid. So stunned states, let's go ahead and read stunned. Rules check. It says, if a stunned villain or minion would attack right here, instead discard the stun status card. So I guess he doesn't get a boost card. I don't really know if he still gets dealt one. Like in Lord of the Rings, you still get a shadow card even if you can't attack. So I don't know. So instead of attacking Jean Grey, he shakes off his stun. So you can thank Wolverine for that shit. So he shakes. He's like, the stars clear, and he's like, whoa. So he doesn't attack Phoenix, which is cool. He does then activate against Wolverine, And he schemes because Wolverine is in Logan form. So he gets a boost card and he schemes for 1 plus this. Uh-oh, another attachment card. God damn it. This states reveal this card. So he gets a +1 scheme and attack. We attach this to him. So his stats go up. He gets a surge of aggression. After Magog's hit points are reset, we can discard this card. But until then, he gets +1 scheme and +1 attack. So I guess that takes effect now. So he schemes for 2. 1 plus 1, because now he's got a, right? So 1, 2. All right. He's already halfway done again. He's going to get the crowd up in a frenzy. Okay. That's the end of the activations for the villain. Now we go to deal encounter cards. That's right. We already have encounter cards. We have to get 2 more. Ugh. And now we reveal them in player order. So starting with this. When all else fails, read the rules. No kidding. This is going to be a pretty devastating encounter phase, but I'm going to take a quick break, run to the bathroom, heat up my coffee, and I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. And by the way, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you hanging out here, Voss. And we'll come back and we'll be revealing encounter cards to see what horrors await. Sit tight, everybody. All right, we're back. We're back. 5 minutes is good. Okay, so we're about to get smashed. Starting in player order. Here we are. Also, did you guys notice this? For those of you in the LSG world, you see what I'm wearing right here? I'm testing out hoodies. It's pretty sweet, this thing. It's comfortable. It's got a good hood. It's got, like, you know, heavy thingies on the thingy. Yeah. So I might be throwing these up in the store. Obviously, members get discounts. Actually, you like this, Voss? You want a Christmas present for all your watches? Send me your size. I'll send you one. See that? That's what you get for hanging out. All right. So we're about to get the pain. A hoodie with a hood. Excuse me. All right. So in player order, Jean Grey. It says to reveal these in the order in which they're delivered, but I don't remember. I would assume these were first. Mojo in the middle. Malcolm in the middle. This game's hilarious. Each obligation gains one acceleration icon. Each obligation. Well, we don't have any in play, which is good. After a player discards an obligation, that player draws a card. When revealed, discard each other setting environment in play. If this card was revealed from the encounter deck, it gains Surge. Oh, okay. So when revealed, discard each other setting. Each other setting environment. Okay, there isn't one. So this is a setting, which means it goes up here. I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to play. It's an environment card, so I think it goes up here. Because these are also environment cards. It says to discard other settings. Well, these aren't setting cards. These are booing crowds. Each obligation gains one icon, acceleration, which means threat goes on faster. There are no obligation cards in play, which is good. If this card was revealed from the encounter deck, it gains Surge. It wasn't revealed. It was, well, yeah, I guess it was. Technically, right? When would it not come out of the encounter deck is my question. You know what I'm saying? How would it not come out of the encounter deck? So I guess I get another card? That sucks. Okay, great. So I'm going to reveal this one now. Pump up the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen. Now the villains have side schemes too. Oh my God, look at the acceleration tokens on this shit. That means 2 extra threat goes on this thing every turn. Oh boy, that's nasty. If the champion is on its cheering crowd side, place additional threat here. Thank God there isn't. But it starts with 8 because it's 2 times the amount of players. That's this. I wish I could use another mouse cursor to interact with the. Anyway. So what that means is I come over here and there's actually a hotkey for this. And it's threat. So, no, not threat. Acceleration. Yeah. So, 1, 2. That means it's telling this card to put 2 extra threat here per turn because this is in play. So, if we don't get rid of this, this is going to move quick. Place 1 rating counters on the challengers when defeated. Okay, cool. We get 2. We get with this. This helps us. Boy, there's 3 more cards to. Jesus Christ. And stage fright, treachery. When revealed, you are confused. Okay, it's not good. Oh my God, I'm scared. Place 2 threat on the main scheme. That's a cool card. Fourth threat, if there are more ratings counters on the challengers than the champion. Thank God that's not the case. So 2 more threat go on the main scheme. This is going to flip very quickly. This is really bad. Okay. Over to Wolverine's pain. What's your pain, Logan? Bang! Defend the title! When revealed, if you're in alter ego form, place 2 ratings counters on the champion. Not good, dude. Not good. So we're tied. This goes away. And next, again. I think it only needs 10. Fuck. Isn't there something I can do to cancel this? No. Well, I think I deleted that card. I thought I had mitigation for this, but I don't. So, alas, here's what I don't know what happens. So, Magog is starting to really beat us up here. So, this states he gets 2 more. I got back-to-back cards. So, this goes up to 10. Not good. So, this states if there are 5 times 2 ratings counters here, 5 times the amount of players, flip this card without removing. So we flip, and now it says the cheering crowd. After the champion flips to this side, each player draws 1 card. Well, that's nice of you. If there are 20 ratings counters here, Magog wins and the players lose. Ugh. Okay. He's got us on the ropes, Foss. So I draw a card. Forge is cool. And draw a card. Armor is cool. Cool. Okay. Merciful Christ, can it be the player's turn? Please. Is it? All right. We have a lot of work to do. We're losing. If you're like, are you winning? I'm not. It feels like I'm losing. So Wolverine heals nothing because he's in Logan form, which is kind of silly. I could exhaust him and heal 4 because he has a 6 recovery, which is really good. All right. I have a lot of cards, and I'm going to have to do a lot of things with those cards. And as long as I don't have to exhaust Wolverine, I think I will take advantage. Okay. We're going to exhaust Logan and heal 4, or 6 in this case. Voila. Also, exhaust Logan's cabin, shuffle 1 Wolverine card from your discard pile into your deck. So we're going to take a Wolverine specific, so an identity card. Can I sort by those? I cannot. So anything yellow. So I could take this. I could take track by scent, which removes that. I will shuffle tracked by scent back into my card pile. So I think that's H. Yep, that shuffles it back into the deck. That's a good hotkey. I will flip to Wolverine's side. Exhausted, sadly, but that's okay. And now we're going to try to bring as much pain as possible. So we're going to save those. Armor. We got a lot of decisions to make here. I'm not a thwarter. I'm going to have to, I think, when a treasure is revealed. Okay, here's my cards. Here's my mitigation cards. After Wolverine takes any amount of damage, draw a card. That's a really good card, man. I could do 3 and 3. Probably a good idea. Probably got to start hurting Magog, right? So, well, she can come into chump block. Got a lot of decisions to make here, guys. Power Punch would cost me 2. Slice and dice. All right. Wolverine is going to elect to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. To play slice and dice, I'm going to exhaust my claws. And that states deal 3 and then deal 3. So after Magog's hit points are, what does this give him? +1/+1. Okay. So he takes 6. So he's down to 14. Wolverine slashes him up. Love that. Wolverine is going to beat him up some more. Except this is more defensive. Both of these are defensive, which is interesting. Okay. What does not kill me? Heal 2 and ready. I could ready up and do 2 more and heal 2. That might be what I want to do. I'm going to use my resource card, which gives me 2 resources. And I'm going to put armor into play. She comes in with a tough card on her. She'll be a great blocker. I'm going to run... I'm going to dump Get Behind Me and Berserker Frenzy, even though I love it, to heal 2 and ready up. No. God, I really like this card because when I take damage... This is a really good card. This is also good. Cost me 1, 2. Defend. I'm deciding here. I'm deciding. This is not an attack event. I think I'm going to sit on these cards. Is that crazy? Yeah, I think I'm going to sit on these cards. I don't know if that's smart, man. All right, over to Gene. Happens all the time in Magic the Gathering where your opponent gets you in a spot that only certain cards can get you out of, and they're either hidden in the deck or you just don't have them. Yeah. All right. Jean cannot thwart because she's confused. How annoying is that? White Hot Room. Heal 2 damage from Jean Grey. That's cool. That's an alter ego action, though. When you would be defeated, Psychic Blast. We might be pushing hard here. Forge lets me put a support card into my hand when he comes into play. Okay. So we're going to discard White Hot Room and put Forge into play. Bing. He cost 1 less because each of my X-Men allies... Each of your X-Men allies gets +1 hit point. If each of your characters has the X-Men trait, each of your X-Men allies costs 1 fewer resource to play. So Forge comes in. He then lets me put a support card into my hand, which I just discarded. So let's check my discard pile. Let's isolate by support. And oh, there's only 1 card. So I get that card back. So I played Forge for free. That's very efficient in a game like this. He also is... getting the benefits of +1 hit point. So he's got 3 hit points. All right. Power of Leadership. Could throw Danger Room Training onto Beast, although Beast is only got 1 hit point left. So I'm going to dump White Hot Room again. I'm going to put Danger Room Training on Forge. So like Havoc, he gets attached to an X-Men. He gets +1 thwart, attack, and hit point. That's pretty damn good. Okay. Nothing that readies me. Psychic Blast. Okay. I'm going to use the X-Jet for 1 resource. I'm going to use a resource from here. I'm getting close to being unleashed. And I'm going to play Psychic Blast. I wish I was unleashed, actually. Bing. And this states, deal 4 damage to the villain. If you have the unleashed trait, deal 4 to each minion. I don't, and there's no minions anyway. So this drops him down to 10. So we give him a Psychic Blast. We're frying his brains. My brains. Okay. We really need to get rid of threat here, or we're really going to be in for it. I'm going to thwart with her, But since I'm confused, I can't, so I just have to get rid of this. So that's a waste, but I have to. Okay, what are the minions or allies? What are the allies going to do? Thwart, right? It seems like the right move. Probably get rid of Pump Up the Crowd. Because this is going to go to 10. This is going to go to 12. Okay, so villain phase, this gets flipped. Which means he's going to get 4 more counters here. I kind of feel like racing to beat him up, though. It's interesting. You kind of have to decide how to go at this, right? These acceleration tokens really are a problem. I could get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get rid of 4 of the acceleration tokens here. We're kind of treading water here. I don't like thwarting with Havoc. It's a waste of how powerful he is and the damage he does. Let's start here. Havoc will attack Magog. When Havoc attacks, discard the top of the encounter deck. So let's see what kind of damage he does. Bing. So +1, the odd couple. That's cute. So he does 3. For each boost icon, Havoc gets +1 attack and takes +1 consequential. So he takes a damage, but he does 3. So he's got 3 damage on him. Oh, he does an extra attack. He does an extra damage because of Danger Room training. He's down to 6. And he normally would be dead, but he has +1 hit point from Uncanny X-Men as well as Danger Room training. This is a really good combo I'm starting to discover in real time. So Havoc kind of smashes this jerk. I feel like I should just sell out and do the most damage I can. So he'll take 2 more and then 2 more from Forge. He'll be down to 2 hit points. But then this is getting flipped, no question. I don't really have much of a choice, do I? Because even if I lower this down to 5, so if these two, if Beast and Forge scheme for 2 and 2, and I lower this down to 4, on the villain's turn, it gets 4. It goes back to 8. It gets 2 more from Pump Up the Crowd, so it's right back to 10. And then we hope that's it. Oof, this is rough. Or I take 4 off here and take this damage. When this happens, he's going to get 4 more counters on him. He's going to be very close to winning. Well, or we beat the shit out of this guy and we get to flip our card finally, which will probably do something good for us. Tough to say. He attacks Wolverine. He's not going to do any damage because I'm going to block with armor. Or I can have armor block for Jean because of the tough status card. I think we will take care of Pump Up the Crowd, because if not, on a long enough timeline, this is going to kill me. I'm going to thwart for 2. I'm going to thwart. That kills Beast, though, doesn't it? Yeah. Beast's going to thwart for 2. So he's gone. This will be really bad if I don't deal with it. We're gonna advance, but this is all I can do. All right, let's see if I lose. So villain phase 17. Yeah, I think that's a lot. So we got to put 4 counters here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This gets reset. I don't know if it carries over. I'm not going to look that up right now. But we still have 2 acceleration tokens here, which sucks. That's why I want to get rid of this. All right. So he's got 4. He's 6 away from winning. He's ahead. He's way ahead. All right. So now here's what's going to happen. So Magog activates against Wolverine, and he attacks him, so he gets a boost card. And Wolverine will defend with 2. So he's doing 3 damage because of his boost card, or because of his attachment card. So 3, 5 fucking damage. Oof. Wolverine takes 3. Wolverine actually only takes 2. I prevent 1. He takes 1. Okay. But he also gets another one of these. Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, no, he does, because it says it on his card, doesn't it? Place 1 here after he damages a character. Yep, so he's up to 15. He's 5 away. Magog activates against Jean Grey. Armor will defend with toughness, so I'm not taking any damage. So he does 3, only 3. Oh, we're missing all these really great cards. Growing Pains. So the tough status card goes away. No damage, no cheering. Great. Now we each get an encounter card. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. We reveal Wolverine's first. Oh, you know, I forgot I had cards over here. I'm so dumb. Can I go back in time? I can't go back in time. I had cards that state when the enemy attacks you, I can do stuff. I kind of fucked up. Oh, well. You live and you learn. So this states the villain attacks you. All right. So this gets discarded. Blink. Boost. Now, when an enemy initiates attack, deal 4 damage to that enemy. I'll pay for that with this and this. So I power punch him for 4. He takes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Wolverine hits him first, which is kind of cool. Did I draw a card? No. All right. Oh, and my reflective barrier might kill him, which is really cool, actually. So he might kill Wolverine. Probably not, though. He's doing 3 to Wolverine. He gets another attachment. He gets Jolt of Adrenaline. He gains Retaliate and Stalwart. So he does 3 to Wolverine. So that's 1, 2. Barrier takes 1. The barrier's gone. He takes 1 and is defeated. So the barrier kills him, which is cool. When he would be defeated, reset his hit points to 20. Right back up. However, after Magog's hit points are reset, place 2 counters here. Hell yeah, 1, 2. The crowd's loving it. And another one for this one. After hit points are reset, place 1 ratings counter on the challenger. And so 2 more. We're catching up. And these both get discarded, which is amazing because they're annoying. So this is gone and this is gone. And, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. We're at 12. We get to flip ours, Voss. Finally. They're cheering for us. Yay. Have the challengers flip to this side. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for surprise contender. And put it into play. Engage with the first player. Oh, goody. This is probably bad. Surprise contender. He's back, everybody. This guy, he's only got 14 on him. I'm not going to beat this scenario, am I? Well, hello. If it's already in play, give it a tough. Okay. So we're 8 away from winning. He's 5 away from winning. Surprise contenders in the house. Not good. All right, over here, revealing this card on her. Bling, past demons. Oh, no. Give to the Logan player. That sucks. So you may flip to alter ego form, choose, exhaust Logan, remove past demons from the game. You are stunned and confused. Ugh. Since I can't exhaust Logan, I have to face the fact that I am stunned and confused. Shit. So next time I go to attack or thwart. So 5 stunned, stunned and confused. That's brutal. Well, the hits keep on coming. All right, so what are we doing now? That's the end of the villain phase, I guess. Player phase. We did 6. So if we defeat him again, 6 go on it, we'd be at 18. We really got to get rid of pump up the crowd here, guys. All right, telekinetic attack is a lot of damage. Mind control. They used mind control from Harp. Attached to a non-elite enemy. Oh, that's too bad. The contender is elite. All right, watch this. We're going to use 1 counter here, which means after the last power counter is removed from here, flip this card. We are now unleashed. Phoenix gets -2 thwart, +2 attack. After a power counter is placed here, if there are 4 or more here, flip this card. I don't know if that attack really matters, but a second one here and a third one here because we're playing telekinetic attack. Telekinetic attack. 7 damage to an enemy. If you have Unleashed, which we do, it gains 2 additional damage. So we hit Magog for 9. That should be worth a cheer card on its own. Smash. That's really good. Take that, sucker. 9 damage, dude. 9. We're gonna play Cyclops. We're gonna go boom, boom, put Cyclops into play. Pow. We did that because he cost 1 fewer. That was a lot of damage. 9 is nasty. It's all for naught, though. I think it's a little too late to win. But now I do have a 3 base attack. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see what happens. Okay. Phoenix is going to attack Magog. Hiya! For 3. 1, 2, 3. Havoc is going to attack Magog. Discard. Bloop. Oh no, what's happening? Why did it do that? Detach. Oh, that's unfortunate. This card sucks. So I do no extra damage, but I don't take any consequential. Wow, that's kind of cool. I don't take any consequential damage, so I stay alive. That's actually best case. So I do 2 damage plus 1 for Danger Room training. So he takes 3, down to 5. Forge will attack him for 2. He'll take a damage, but he's still got the life for it. Cyclops will attack him. Oh, wait. After Cyclops enters play, place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force. Bing, bing. Which is after a power counter is placed or if there are 4 more. Okay. Oh, so Cyclops calms her down. That's kind of cool. And I'm so close, but I can't beat him. Cyclops is going to attack him for 2. When Cyclops leaves play, okay, Cyclops will attack him for 2. He'll take a damage. He's down to 1. That was a hard attack on him, man. He had 20. We did 19 damage? Is that real? Am I cheating? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage in 1 swing. Holy shit. If only Wolverine could attack. He's dazed and confused. That's a lot of damage, dude. Watch how much threat's going to be placed on this, though. It's going to be kind of bonkers. Wow. Should I change form? All right. Let's see what happens. I think Wolverine didn't even go yet. Yeah, did Wolverine go yet? Did he take 7 damage this turn? I feel like he would have healed. I don't remember. I feel like Wolverine didn't go this turn. So he heals 2. Except he's exhausted and stunned, so he can't attack. And to make matters worse, what doesn't kill me, I can't afford. Fuck. It costs 2. I can't even do anything with him because I have no cards. Should I go Logan to avoid getting smashed by both Contender and Magog? Magog's going to attack me for 2. He's going to attack me for 2 more. That's 4 right off the bat. Plus whatever boost cards they draw. He unexhausts at the end of the player phase, Voss. Shit. Gee, I don't know. I go Alter Ego, they're going to scheme their way to victory. I'm going to go Alter Ego. I'm a little bit nervous to take a pounding right now. You know what? Fuck all that. We're not going Alter Ego. So, end of player phase. Nothing I can do. I think Armor did something. That's why. Oh, no. Armor defended. That's right. Player phase is over. All right. What do we get for cards over here? When you would be defeated, heal. That's cool. We can't play any of this now, though. Okay. And what do we draw on this side? Phoenix Firebird. Okay. Psychic Blast is back. Professor X is back. Well, let's see what happened. Look at this thing went from 0 to 10. That's so much. Here's where the pain starts. 10, dude? Why are there 3 acceleration tokens on this? There should only be 2 acceleration tokens on this, right? I think so. He might win right here, though, which would be interesting, but fun regardless. Each obligation. There are no obligations in play. I don't know why there's 3 on here. I feel like I might have fat-fingered this. There should be 2 because of this, right? There's 2 acceleration tokens here. So this gets 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I got 10. I'm not sure. I might have fat-fingered something here, and I'm kind of missing it, unfortunately. How did it get so many? Hold on. I'm going to go back in time. Control Z. There we go. I think this is supposed to have 2 acceleration tokens. Right. Now, if we go forward, it should be putting on 1, 2, and 4 more for a total of 6, not 10. Right? Well, let's see what it does. 9. I'm missing something here. I don't know how it's coming up with 9. Plus 2 per player, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How is it calculating this math? Is it putting the 2, is it going 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2? I don't know. That doesn't seem correct to me. We should be accelerating at +2 per player. That's 4. This gives you 2 more for 6. This doesn't affect it. These don't affect it. Magog doesn't affect it. Is there a card in play that does affect it? Oh, he was supposed to get another ratings counter when this guy entered play, and I didn't do that. So he's at 16, actually. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it this way. It could be the programming itself is wrong. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's double check. Let's double check let's check some rules. This is the funnest part of the game. Bing. Acceleration tokens are functionally equivalent to acceleration icons. They are placed next to the main scheme as a reminder to add X additional threat to the main scheme during step 1 of the villain phase, where X is the number of acceleration tokens in play. In this case, 2. If the encounter deck is empty, oh, shit. Okay, the encounter deck is empty. Right, I missed that. At one point, this got shuffled back in. And when that happens, when this deck runs out, oh, okay, that's what happened. When this deck ran out, it got another acceleration token. Okay, and it's still counting that acceleration token. Okay, that's what it is. Going back to the rule, it states, if the encounter deck is empty, place 1 acceleration token next to the main scheme. Got it. Acceleration tokens placed on cards still add threat to the main scheme. Acceleration tokens on the main scheme cannot be removed from play, unlike other tokens. When a main scheme card leaves play, the acceleration token does not get discarded. Okay. All right. That's fair. And when the villain activates, let me just check one more rule thing here. During step 1, no, what's it called? I forget the name of the phases. Villain phase begins. Let's go to villain phase. Because I think you put 1 plus. When the villain phase begins, you just follow the scheme card, and that's what you do. So right here, villain phase, place the amount of threat indicated in the main scheme's acceleration field onto the scheme. If any additional accelerator icons or tokens are active, additional threat equal to the number of such icons is also placed at this time. Right. Okay, so that's what happened, I guess. Because we did run out of cards. We did run out of cards here. All right, so we're going to go back in time again. I still don't think it's doing the math right, though, if I'm being honest. So there are 3. We do go like this. It's saying 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's supposed to be 7, not 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this 7. I think this is supposed to be 7. So I'm going to put it to 7. And I'm sure if somebody's watching this, go, no, here's why it's supposed to be 10. But I don't see why it was 10, because it was 0. It was 0. Okay. All right. Well, things are about to go bad for us anyway, because the villain is now activating. So, boost card. He attacks Phoenix. All right, poor Phoenix. Who's going to defend this for Phoenix? Huh? Phoenix might be defending herself. I think Phoenix is going to take this one. 2 damage. We're taking it. No defense. Oh, every time, I swear to God. She takes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's another step closer to winning because he did damage. Over here, Wolverine is attacked. Armor will block. That's called a chump block, ladies and gentlemen. Damage done is 2 plus 0, but it's enough to kill her, so she's gone. Another token goes here. 17, he's 3 away from winning. Surprise Contender is attacking Wolverine. He gets a boost card because he's villainous. So he's doing 2. Wolverine will defend. I don't know why. He's doing 2. And you are confused. I'm already confused. Can't be double confused. So Wolverine takes 2. No, he takes none because he's got a 2 defense. Okay, cool. So Wolverine actually takes no damage. I can see him fending off this guy while he's stunned and confused. That's actually kind of cool. And time for the encounter card phase. So Gene. Uh-oh, the one with the breakup. At each encounter card gains peril. This is an obligation card. This is not good. Discard alter ego action. As an alter ego action, we can discard 3 cards from our hand and choose a player. The chosen player draws 1 card. You discard this obligation. Now, the one with the breakup, this means we have, I don't know what this token is called, but this token means we get an extra encounter card per encounter phase, which stinks. Oh, and by the way, each obligation gains an acceleration icon because of Mojo in the middle. So we get another acceleration card. Oh my God. So we got another one that goes here. That's not good. Okay. After player discards a obligation, that player draws a card. There's no getting rid of this Mojo in the middle, huh? Boy, oh boy. All right. Wolverine. Defend the title. Magog attacks Wolverine. And there's not much I can do about it except to take it. So I'm going to take it. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, we already dealt with it. I should be exhausting these guys or I'm going to confuse myself. So Magog attacks me, so he gets a boost card. So he's doing 1, 2, 4 damage to Wolverine. Jeez Louise, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 9 damage on him. He's taking a beating, but he's tough. He's tough to kill. We are very haggard. He gets another thingy up here. 8, he's 2 away from winning now. Wow. Okay. Player phase. It's getting ugly. We're going to be at 18 when we lose, so it's going to be a close game, but we're not going to win. All right. Starting with Wolverine. Oh, this is such well. The timing of this is amazing. Wolverine heals 2. We're going to play. We're actually going to borrow your X-Jet, honey. We're going to use the X-Jet to play regenerative healing, which states heal 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and discard each stunned and confused status card from your identity. That is really well timed. He shakes it off. He's tough. He's Wolverine. Never doubt him. Oh, that's good timing. Next action. He's also untapped. Next action will be to, we're going to use 2 money to play What Doesn't Kill Me. Hi-ya! This states, heal 2 from Wolvie. Dude, what an animal. And ready him. Now, bitch. Now, bitch. We are going to base attack. A base attack of 2 to defeat him. Okay, he goes back to 20. We get 6 ratings here. So we're up to 18. That's kind of cool. Well done, Wolvie. Classic issue of Spider-Man. Yeah, it's a great image. All right. If only we could do 20 damage to Magog again with this team over here. But we cannot. I don't think Wolverine can do much else. I think this deck needs a little bit of tweaking. Phoenix. Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix. What can you do? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see 10 damage, and that's it. We're close. It's fun, man. This is a fun game because it's gonna be close. We're as soon as the villain phase starts, we're gonna lose though. We can't really stop that from happening, I don't think. Because this is going to go to 12, which means we're going to put 4 ratings counters here, which is going to be the end of the game. So we're either losing to the scheme or 100% going to lose to the scheme. I could scheme this away and buy more time. I could, yeah, I don't know if I have to go out on my shield. I could scheme away, pump up the crowd, drop this by 2. Except he's going to do damage. We stun him. He attacks once less. This guy's really a nightmare to be here. He's pretty annoying. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. We're gonna go 2 energy. We're gonna put Professor X into play. He costs 1 less because of Uncanny X-Men. Now we have to decide: confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men character. Hold on a second. I'm gonna do this a bit different. Except he's gonna die. Fuck. All right. I could probably delay this a little bit if I wanted to, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to throw everything at him and then lose, but for fun. So, starting with Phoenix, she's going to attack for 3. 1, 2, 3. Havoc is going to attack for 2, for 3, for 5. Holy shit. So he attacks for 5. He takes 2 consequential damage, which puts him at 4, 5. So he dies, but he does 5. Down to 12. But sadly, Havoc is gone. Forge is going to attack for 2. And he'll also... Oh, no, he's got plus 2 hit points. Yep. So he's got 1 left. He attacks for 2. Cyclops attacks for 2. We're going to play Psychic Blast. So we're going to use Legion. We're going to use Phoenix Firebird and one of the counters from this to pay for Psychic Blasts. So we're going to do 4 to him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait for it. One, 2, 3. Oh my God, I can't do it. Guys, I can't win. I'm so close to winning. No. No. Watch how close I'm going to come to winning. I'm going to pay 2. Oh, this is so frustrating. It's not really frustrating. I'm going to play 2 to bring Professor X in. Professor X is going to... I can ready an X-Men character. Wolverine can only do 2 damage, though. Fuck. I'm going to ready Phoenix. If only he did damage. God. Phoenix is going to attack for 3. Again. It's so close. 1 hit point. 1 point. Fuck. Oh, God, what a heartbreaker. If I would have planned it differently, I probably could have won. Professor X is going to thwart, of course. Wait a minute. Maybe, yeah, I guess. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I could keep him here to block, but that's going to make him 19. If they scheme, he's going to scheme for so much. Yeah, the second the villain phase starts, it's over, so we'll scheme for 3. Doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3. If only I could scheme for 1 more. No tricks up my sleeve, huh? Nothing. Damn, that was pretty cool, though. This Jean Grey deck's not bad. Wolverine deck's not bad. It needs to be tweaked a bit, I think. It's, this contender guy is a nightmare. And I think that's all we got, guys. I think we're out of gas. That's too bad. Well, that's the end of the player phase. And that's that. Mojo is the winner. Well, Magog wins. Oh my God, look what card I just got. Lunging Strike, deal 8. Jidoku skill. This card creeped out my wife. The Jidoku skill card. She doesn't like the man getting Jidoku'd, I think. Lunging Strike, deal 8 damage. God damn. 1 point, guys. 1 point. That was super fun. I don't think this is 18, but it's not. It's not, but it's 12 because it gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Regardless, it should be 15. I think. I think the math is coming up wrong on this for some reason. I think it should be 15. Either way, we still lose. Oh, that was fun though. That's a well-designed game to be that close, right? And I'm not particularly good at this game. I'm still learning it. But damn. Magog has won. The crowd has determined that he is the winner. How cool is Wolverine though? All that healing. Now, if I play Wolverine as a red deck with aggression, I could probably beat this scenario. So if I brought in an aggression Wolverine deck, instead of green, if I went red, I could... The crowd stinks. It does. So let me show you some red cards. I don't know why it's asking me for this info, but my decks, edit, and if we go aggression events, oh, is it because I have to change my aspect? There we go. It's like, yeah. So here are some of the aggression cards. Like, there's a bunch of cool shit you can do, but it's mostly like Piercing Strike. It's a lot of damage cards. Like this one is awesome. Deal 5 damage to a minion if you paid for this card with a fist. This attack gains overkill. There's a bunch of good cards to do damage with red cards. But anyway, cancel edits. Back to the game. Back to full screen. Well, anyway, that was a ton of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I had fun. But let me go over to here real quick. Bing. So yeah, man, I think that's pretty cool. That was close. We were at 18. He was at 20, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, that's Marvel. Pretty sick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I think it's fun. It's in this particular scenario, it's pretty straightforward. It's like fight this guy in an arena, see what happens, and go from there. That's the trade-off. You have to hope to finish off the enemy fast because red would have fairly weak defense. Yeah, for sure. Wolverine can take a beating, but not as much as a beating as he took. The one thing you want to do with a character like Wolverine, I think, with a green deck, is I think you want to have it to where when you take damage, you do damage type of thing, because Wolverine can heal. So it gives you, the way the heroes are designed gives you a lot of flex in how you want to play the game, which is kind of cool. But I see the appeal of a leadership deck. I mean, we did 10 damage in one turn, and it could have been more, to be honest with you. Danger Room training is really cool, come to find out. That combined with Uncanny X-Men is ridiculous. Like, this combo is great. Stick this card on a minion. They get +1 thwart attack and a hit point, and if you have Uncanny in play and all of your X-Men allies get +1 hit point, and they cost less to play. So good. That's a support card. In fact, I believe there's a side scheme card that lets you go find a support card. That's probably not a bad idea to have. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of cards I didn't get to, so cards left in my deck. Polaris, some Jubilee's really good. That's Wolverine's ally specifically. Night Nurse I never got. Power Punch is pretty good. I would have won. Actually, here's something I will say. Had I remembered about Power Punch, I think I could have won, because I think I would have done 4 damage to him when he attacked Wolverine. But I kind of forgot. And it was a little bit late at that point. Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, if I discard this card, I want to see something. And I remove all acceleration tokens. Let's see what happens when I go to the villain phase again. I want to see. Okay. It added 5 tokens. Did you see that? It should only add 4 tokens. I think the game knows that this has happened. What if I put -1 acceleration? It won't let me. Yeah, it's calculating 5. I don't know why. Each obligation gains 1 acceleration token. What if I discard all this shit? Will it do it again? Player phase. Why is there an acceleration token here? Player phase. Nope. Hold on a second. Discard. Get rid of this. Villain phase is over. All right. So if I end the player phase with the board state like this, it put 4. Okay, that's correct. So it calculated it correctly that time. Let's go backwards. Is it because I had Mojo in the middle in play? Let's see. Maybe it's reading something off this card. Player phase ends. Yes, that's what's happening. It's counting this as an acceleration token. So that's a mistake. I'm actually going to post on the forum about that. I think it's a mistake. They'll know the rules better than I do, but I think that's a mistake. I'm going to put Mojo in middle, causing +1 acceleration. No obs in play from what I can see. Yeah. So let's look at this carefully. Mojo in the middle is an environment card. It states each obligation gains 1 acceleration icon. Okay. Discard each other setting environment in play. If this card was revealed from the encounter deck, it gains Surge. After player discards an obligation, that player draws 1 card. Okay. This states this is an environment card. This states it's an environment card. This is the villain card, and this is the scheme. There's no obligations in play, correct? So what's happening is that when I end player phase, it's counting 5 because of this card. So that probably led to a premature death to me. You like my excuses, Voss? Because this isn't technically an obligation card. I don't think. I think it's just a modular encounter set, environment card, setting, show. Now, when this was in play, let's see how many it counts. 5. Okay. So it's, but if this is in play, it should count 5. 2 per player plus this because it's an obligation card. And then if this is in play, it should count 7, but instead it will count 8. Observe. 7. Oh, no, it should count 7. It should count 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's only counting 7. What the fuck? Oh, because this automatically calculates acceleration. So that might have been something I was doing wrong. So if it automatically counts acceleration, then I don't need to put acceleration tokens here like I was doing. And I think that's why I was fucking myself. All right, cool. Then I learned something new today. So if Mojo in the middle is not in play, this should be 6. 5. Doesn't make any sense. It should be 2 per player plus 2. 6. Wait, because there's -1 here. That's why. Let's try that again. This should go to 41. Okay, that's correct. Okay, so I don't have to put it. Yeah, it's tricky when you don't always know what is a part of the scripting and what isn't. And then this should still only be 6. Let's see. Actually, let's remove all this because it's getting a little unwieldy. What the fuck? Come on now. Oh boy. I may have broken the game. Yeah, I 100% did. That's okay. It's like, stop with the tokens. There's no way to, yeah, it's pissed off at me. I could discard it and just, I think if I discard this, I can bring it back. Well, it doesn't matter. The point is I have to do my own math and not trust the math on this. But anyway, yeah, it could be a weird bug, but that's it. I'm done. It's been fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. This game's awesome. All these games are awesome. I like games like this. I think they're fun as shit. And it's cool to play something Marvelly. That's not the MCU. So there you go. In Magic, fistfights can break out based on how people interpret how... Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. It's pretty sad, to be honest with you. I guess if there's lots of money on the line, people are going to get pretty heated, but fist fighting over a game that's supposed to be fun seems kind of insane to me. Not that I've not been frustrated. I've been pretty mad playing some games sometimes, especially competitive shit. But anyway, that's that. Like and subscribe. You guys know the drill. Appreciate you guys hanging out. This has been a ton of fun. Like I said, I know I'm probably mishmashed some of the rules, and that's that. So, I think we're good. It's a pretty tight game. Like I said, you can tell it's the third in the series. It's shored up some of the bloat. It seems to work really well. For sure it does. Again, I think the plug-in calculating stuff the way it is what confused me, whereas I shouldn't even rely on that, to be honest with you. But yeah, I should always double check the threat being placed. That's all. You guys enjoy the holidays. And yeah, it was good to be back at it. Sorry I'd been out for a little while, been pretty busy. But if you're into film and TV, check out LSG Media or The Lost Drive-In on YouTube as well. Much love. Thank you so much. Peace.